you were probably, let's see, Eli and I, when we were still back in Boston, like at that time, electronic music and the rave scene in America was really small. It was a really subversive kind of in the
even
90s.
in the 90s.
Yeah.
It's not till the last 10 years that really it became this pervasive.
But like we would have
culture.
like going back even from our roots, we have no idea how big electronic music would be, and no idea how global electronic music would be. But I mean, I guess these inner city records, these key records, they really kind of proved all of us wrong, or anybody wrong that would think that it wasn't a global thing, because you were charting, in the US Billboard, you were on the UK Billboard, and these songs were celebrated globally, but even back then. I mean, how did it feel? Like, how does it feel now, and how did it feel, back in the 80s? Because I talked to some of the Chicago house guys just in passing, and like, it was such a different thing, the way the music was received over in Europe or in the UK versus like the impetus of like the idea.
We talked about this last week with Seth too, like how it's kind of like how jazz musicians had to go to Europe to get recognition for so long.
Yeah.
And the originators of house and techno in the US weren't getting enough recognition in the US to make a living, and had to go and live and play in Europe.
Yeah. I mean, I seen like the UK was so important. They embraced us. They loved the music. It was just all about the music, and it just took over many forms of music, and people wanted to get out and dance. And I think what we created, including Chicago with house music, is a format that allowed people to finally dance and really be able to feel like they could dance, or feel the groove differently than some tracks that you heard that was considered dance music. Especially once you had the big thing about disco being dead. Then kind of what was it in between? There was that gap in between, and it was shown that it was missed. Really in reality, and what we did and what Chicago did is stripped it down, made it raw in comparison with people used to hearing, because we weren't trained musicians. Most of us didn't know how to read and write music, but we knew how to create a beat that was simple but effective, and find a way to bring sounds and create sounds to help people gravitate towards what our sound was, and able to play our music as DJs, and it allowed and create a record company. So we created our own platform to put this music out, because it was really all about putting it out on vinyl so you could play it. And
are you referring to the KMS records?
KMS, Transmat, Metroplex.
And KMS was your label. Metroplex was
Juan Atkins,
and the other that was Derek's, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Good.
So that really helped us, because we didn't have to rely on anybody. We went with our vision and what we felt. UK embraced it in the biggest way possible. So it was huge.